So tell me a little more about your passion. Speak to me as if you have never spoken to me before.
Oh, Neslin, you're asking me about passion, and my face lights up as I talk with you. I think I've always been a passionate person. Somehow, I know growing up in the 50s, 60s, I was born in 1951, passion was looked upon as a bit of a luxury, a bit over the top. It wasn't always encouraged, although I came from quite a creative family. And I think the word passion has certain connotations about too much emotion, too much self-indulgence. I've never thought that. I've never thought that. Don't forget we have the word compassion, which we link, of course, with the word sympathy, empathy, kindness. And so taking the com away, we've got passion, and it's the same. It covers many, many emotions. And I think I'm a passionate person. I have to feel that to have what we call the raison d'etre, the reason to be. And we can't go around feeling passionate all the time, but being passionate about something we do, about a person, about a project, about life, I feel is essential. And all the things that have been important to me, I've put passion into, whether it's quietly, because I think we can have a quiet passion, or in a very obvious way, like huge enjoyment. And some of my passions have been in the artistic realm. I was an actress and singer, didn't do too much with it when I was young, but had education in that. And that gave me great joy. And my work, my career, my vocation, if you like, as a timing consultant, has lasted now 38 years. And I would say that I feel passionate about that. Does that answer your question?
Oh, you gave me such a lot. How beautiful. So you talked about passion. You feel passionate about the things that are important to you. What is important to you?
What is important to me is feeling authentic about something, being heard. I also feel that passion is it's the lifeblood, it's the juice of life. We wouldn't get up in the morning, perhaps, if we didn't have some passion for the day. Nature certainly wouldn't operate well, and it does, as we know. We look at nature around us, and there wasn't passion. So to me, passion is the lifeblood. Yes.
Absolutely. And within that lifeblood, what is it that makes your heart sing as your beautiful face lights up?
Within that passion, what makes my heart sing? Connectivity, connecting, feeling connected with life. And to know it's okay at times not to feel inspired, not to feel passionate about things. To allow the well to empty and to fill up again, and to feel joyful when that passion comes back. I wouldn't be human if I didn't have the lows as well. And it surprises one, I think, when passion suddenly re-emerges on our stage. Yes. So many things can make me feel that my heart is singing, particularly singing, actually. I love it.
Beautiful. And you know, as Radio Works World, one of the things that Radio Works World does so beautifully is connect people.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
within that connectivity and the experience you've had with Radio Works World, with connecting with others, what is it you so appreciate about that connection?
The ease of it. Marine has made it very, very easy, I believe. I'm continually surprised when connections come in. Not like I'm not expecting them, but I'm a great believer in serendipity and synchronicity. Excuse me. That the unexpected can happen, that indeed is more predictable than just the day-to-day routine. And with Radio Works World, it's been quite seamless. The people I've met, the opportunities that have arisen, the miracle of writing my book. And the people I've met, I was saying to a friend the other day, I don't know how many, perhaps we call them meetings, ceremonies, events I've been to with Radio Works World over the last year. Not too many in the flesh, so to speak, but I've always enjoyed the people, the openness, the good-heartedness. It's extraordinary, more than anything else I've joined. And hearing these genius farmers talk on their shows, when they're hosts, or like yourself now running your own show, it's always wonderful.
Perfect. And you know, Marina says that we're a group of people sowing seeds of greatness. Where is your greatness?
I'm sorry, I missed that last line.
I said, Marina shares with us that we are a group of people sowing seeds of greatness. What do you consider to be your greatness?
That's a very interesting question. I've never really thought of it in those terms. I'm just me. You might say, what are some of my skills, which I might consider to be greatness? I think my enthusiasm. I sometimes feel that's the word I apply rather than passion, but I do know what you mean by passion. It's a wonderful, wonderful ocean wave of feeling, as well as something quite quiet, as I mentioned earlier, but equally powerful. But enthusiasm, I feel, makes me great. Kindness, I consider myself a kind person. And the fact that I love to bring people together myself. I'm not always that great an organizer, but I love, because I've travelled a lot, Neslin, I've lived in different countries, and I've enjoyed nothing better than connecting people together, whether it's something simple like round a dining table, a party, or more, and seeing how people can interact together. So people tell me that I engage well, I connect well, there's a generosity of spirit there. And I think I've got a kind of openness. I do believe in the best in people, though I do see through people quite easily, but I do believe in the best in them. Yes, I think those elements perhaps make me great.
And you are a beautiful, great woman in terms of timing. So, again, share with our listeners your perspective.
On timing. On timing.
Yes, yes. And just,
oh, well, the timing is, yeah, I get it. No, I've been a timing expert for many years now. I started off as an astrologer with a long training behind me when I was 27. That's 38 years ago this month. And I more and more honed my skills into working with timing, because I don't believe in prediction. I think we have a lot of free will, great deal of free will. Funny thing with free will is we know it can be abused. We know that in the world. I also believe we can neglect it. We stick with our habits. And we don't think outside the box. And we wonder why patterns keep repeating. And actually life isn't a circle, it's more of a spiral. And I look at the beauty in nature, in the cosmos, planetary cycles, and I see how these cycles come around and can take us to another level, a higher level of the spiral. And we have an opportunity to grow into something bigger of who we are, and to look at a situation and to be creative with it, to heal it maybe. To heal it maybe. So timing is everything. We can perhaps do everything we want in life, though again, not everybody does as much as perhaps they can do or want to do, partly due to fear, laziness, conditioning. But we can do everything, but when is the right time? And I believe we have inner timekeepers. We are part of nature, but I personally believe in a soul. I think though our bodies come from nature, and that part of us, that instinctive part of us, can tap into these inner timekeepers and know, just as nature does, the best timing for action, for growth. the startups, beginnings. And when we start to really feel that connection with our body, with nature, with the planetary cycles, which have always been great messengers throughout history, that's why they're there. For us anyway. That's why we're not on those planets. You know, we are receiving those messages, and how we interpret them is very important. So timing is something, if we can resonate with those cycles, we no longer feel isolated. And I believe we're living in a world where many people, excuse me, feel isolated, and there's no need for that. We are all part of a bigger web. I think social media and so on is wonderful, but it can isolate us as well. And communication becomes so easy that way, but not quite the same as face-to-face, or a real sense of living, that living web around us. So I work with timing to help people to look at where they are on their particular map. There's no right or wrong way to a destination, but it does help, as we would in everyday life. It does help when it's easy. What route are we on? What crossroads do we reach? And we are taught to stop, look and listen at a crossroad, aren't we, physically, Neslin? Whether we're walking, driving or cycling. But in our ways of approaching life generally, it's very easy to rush those crossroads. And to know it's important to take a pause, to have a gap, to allow even cancellations to occur. So I help people to look at their timing of go, start, if you like, pause. And, you know, just as we ourselves have our core coordinates when we're born, our time, our date of birth, our place of birth, longitude and latitude, we also have, if you like, those core coordinates for our own business, our own projects, our babies, if you like. Mm-hmm. So I help people to look at those cycles, to seize that moment of beginnings, of changes. And I love doing it, Neslin. I absolutely love it. That we do have this beautiful higher self, this inner timekeeper. And we can learn to, I don't like the word improve, but it's like dusting something off, you know, polishing it up, to trust that. And the word trust is so important with timing. A dancer knows that, a musician knows that. But do we know it fully in our everyday lives? So my work as a timing expert covers many things, from the spiritual right down to the business, not down, but to the business world, our day-to-day routines. And I feel very honoured to work in that way with people.
How beautiful. And the world needs more and more and more of your passion, your skills, your expertise, your greatness. So how could you partner in an even bigger way with Marina in getting...
How could I partner?
In an even bigger way with Marina to get the message out to the world?
That's a good question. Maybe you can give me some ideas to start me going on that question. Because we do, Marina and I do talk. We have a lovely connection. She's got such a lovely heart. And I like to look at the timing of some of the events as well, to see, you know, it's not even is it good timing or not, because it always is in a sense. But what is the atmosphere of that event? What is the landscape of it, the stage set of it? So that helps me to bring myself, if you like, to the table, sometimes literally, but to the occasion.
Get it?
But I've always said to Marina, anything I can do to help. She's been very good to me, and I'm always there to help with timing.
Yes, and we are on a big project because, as you know, part of Marina's dream and her passion is to enable more than 1 million women to become millionaires. from the perspective of wealth so that women can create even more good in the world. It's
Yes.
about the legacy. And when we look at our world and where we are at and the young generation, what more could we do? And so when we are being in synchrony and synchronicity with our timing, we can create so much more.
Oh, absolutely. People don't give enough importance to timing. We mainly muddle through. I don't mean you and I, but when I do at times, of course I do. We get our timing wrong. And I think that's where we need to have compassion toward ourselves when we miss our cue. If you're in a Shakespeare production, it's very important not to miss your cue. You might even, lose the part. But I think in our everyday lives, we can have a lot more compassion and understanding, because the outside world interferes, if you like, or impacts us so much. If it's just left to ourselves, we'd flow with our rhythms quite well. And we'd know it's a good day, perhaps, to have a duvet day. It's a good day not to push things. But the world doesn't work like that. Sometimes we have to. And compassion, gentleness toward ourselves makes it very much easier to get back in touch with our rhythm.
Absolutely. So if you were leading one of the master classes on timing, what is it you would want the participants to know, to understand, to learn?
A little bit like what I've been saying. I think to keep things simple, Neslin, is very important. And this one you asked earlier about my greatness. I would say that my capacity to make subjects simple doesn't mean they're not significant. I know with my work, I've had a long training in it, way back. And I learned over the years to make it simple, to apply it to other people, that it's about them, and to use their language as well. I was never a linguist at all, but astrology, if you like, is a language, and that aspect of it, looking at the planetary cycles, the moon cycles, which we're all connected with, very much so, I can make it accessible to the everyday person. So in a masterclass, I would help people by inner exercises, bodily movement. I would get them to start to trust more the knowingness of the right time. That maybe, we want something now. We're told in our modern world that we have a right to have it now. I've never been convinced on that one. It smacks to me a little bit of greediness. If we were allowed to have everything we wanted, we could be a magician, wave that wand. I think quite often, I don't know whether you found that, Neslin, or would find that we look back and think, oh gosh, I wish that hadn't happened. It wasn't the right time, or not the right thing for us. So life can be very kind, or our higher selves can be very kind, and perhaps hold us back a little, or even seem to deny us something until it is right, or kind of reframed in a way to suit our own nature. So I know myself that quite a lot of times in life when something hasn't happened for me, or at that time, I think, oh, thank goodness for that. That wasn't right. It wasn't right then. I don't know whether you've ever found that.
Yes, I have.
That's where God, if you like, thank goodness. Because how can we know, generally speaking, and particularly when we have passion, this is an interesting point, we have passion, we can get carried away by what we want. And a momentum is set going where it's hard to get off that, it's like a running machine. I was on one once and I speeded it up. I wasn't ready for that. I really damaged my toe. So it's like getting a momentum going, and that passion can actually cause injury. But seizing that moment when the time is right, when everything, and I'm sure you know this yourself, Neslin, when something is right, there's lots of omens, auspices, lots of things fall into place, connections, synchronicities. It's absolutely beautiful when that happens.
Yes.
Yes.
The flow of
So
life.
So I'd like to infuse, literally enthusiasm in a group of people. I love running workshops, giving talks. As I said earlier, I think I engage well with people and make them feel they can do things too. And so whether it's at a material level or more spiritual level, trusting that inner timekeeper is how I help people to have more success, if you like, fulfillment.
Perfect.
Depend on the group. Yeah.
And how open are you to partnering with Marina and myself in having even bigger workshops where we're bringing more of your greatness to the world?
100%.
100%.
I love particularly collaborating, cooperating. I've been a loner in the sense of being self-employed 38 years. It's just me. I'm the whole team. I'm not always a good boss. Can be quite a strong critic toward myself. I don't have generally a team with my work, and I've run a lot of workshops, given talks, and it's not lonely. I don't feel I've ever felt lonely in my life. But I love nothing more than sharing like a stage with somebody, sharing a workshop, bringing our skills together, cooperating. So they've got their skill, I've got mine, if you like, and bringing them together with a common goal, a common heart.
And when are you ready to start?
Whenever the opportunity comes up. I'm always open. I'm an adventurer, Neslin. Doesn't mean to say I don't have fear at times, I can't get scared. But somebody once said that to be courageous, you have to pass through vulnerability. May even have been you who said that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So consider it done. But we will be speaking much more deeply about how the three of us collaborate and bring your greatness to the wider world, because, you know, it is so needed.
Yes. And you asked me about what I would do in a mastermind group. It's very, unless one knows the group, what the theme is, timing can be applied to so many things and takes it into this beautiful lattice work, this tapestry of many, many subjects. I think we'd have a healthier life on the planet as well if we were able to honor these inner timekeepers, our rhythms.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really, really do. I never thought I'd end up one day in my 60s saying this is my subject. I've never wanted to have a label. And, people used to ask me to give talks and they'd say, well, we don't actually mind what you talk about as long as you talk, which I thought was the greatest compliment. But we do have to have a kind of label that people invite us to do things. And I know that my vocation has been a very good friend to me and is a very good friend. He's walked beside me well.
Perfect. So share with us some of the successes you have had since the publication of your book.
Oh, right. Well, my book was launched, as you know, the Authors Awards in December 21st.
Tell us the title.
Call it my baby. Hello, you there?
Yes, tell us the title of your book and the successes you've had since you've launched it.
Well, my book title is The Time Catcher, and subtitle, How to Time Our Opportunities to Turn How to Time Our Actions to Turn Challenges into Opportunities. And it's 6 chapters, the acronym timing. Each chapter begins with a letter of TIMING, the acronym. And the successes I've had, I think it's given me more respect in my own profession. I think it's important to have a book to do that. And I've been urged by my clients, my clientele, over decades to write that book. So I've been writing blogs, articles. People have always considered me a good writer as well as speaker. And so my clients have been thrilled. I've got a couple of little book launches local to me going on. Radio interviews as well, different parts of the country. Successes. How do I view success? I feel it a success when people open it, perhaps they just read a page, a few lines. They say they love to do that as well, not just read it from cover to cover, and it's helping them. Again, it's like synchronicity. Yeah, I was thinking that today, or that's what I needed to read. And I think the book also fleshes out people's image of me. Because you know, Neslin, that it's in a way we're all actors. I don't mean that we wear masks or we're unreal or we're not authentic, but we have different, if you like, costumed roles, literally, for areas of our life, yes?
Yes.
And I think that people see parts of us. Few people, if we're lucky in our world, see all of us. And if we're really fortunate, one or two people see the whole of us, the whole of the sun. And I feel through my book that people, it isn't strictly all about me by a long shot. I wanted to write about timing, but there's lots in there about, you know, little anecdotes about my own life and certainly how I came to write it and to have the career that I have. So to me, that is a big success when people get that. And I'm just thinking of other successes. It's been such a short time. I'm on my second run of my book. I did some little bits, and you know, we do tidy it up a little bit, which I've loved doing because I wrote it quite fast. I really wanted it ready for December the 21st, and haven't altered the flow of it at all. But I'm happy with how it is and how it looks. So I love it that it helps people. Love it that it helps people, and opportunities to give talks about it. And do you know, even more importantly, I'm doing one in Guildford where I live shortly. And it's just everyday people coming, and the opportunity is to have a drink, a snack, and yes, I can give a short talk, but the main thing is to include them because everybody has an idea about timing and how it works and what on earth is going on in the world with time. We're all feeling it speeding up a lot. We don't have enough of it. And everybody has stories about timing, something apart from clock time. And I love it when people join in and there's that lovely dialogue. In fact, I feel a talk should be that to include the audience a little bit. Don't you?
Yes, absolutely.
So, yes, I don't know, success. I was brought up to be quite ambitious. That word ambition is a bit like passion. It can be rather frowned upon. But there's nothing wrong with setting ourselves goals. And I would like my book to be out there more. I don't necessarily mean it has to be a bestseller, but I think it's a unique subject. I think the way I've written about it is not a technical book for astronomers, astrologers, technical things. I picked up a couple of books on time in a shop recently, and I couldn't begin to understand all what they were talking about with physics and everything. On the other hand, I didn't want it to be a book just about the moon or star signs. I wanted it to be a book about our inner timekeepers and how it relates with philosophy, with mythology, with nature, with the planets, everything, a bit of everything. And that people could say, yes, I knew that, but it's a reminder. Oh, I didn't quite know that, and that's put it into perspective for me. Absolutely. It's deceptively simple, the book. It's deceptively simple.
Yeah. And how important is timing to the flowering of our purpose here on earth? Because each day our purpose unfolds more and more and more, opening like a beautiful flower. So how important is timing to that beautiful unfolding of our purpose here on earth?
I think, as I mentioned earlier, I think we can do everything. And I think in the context you're talking now, if we have a purpose, we have a goal, we have just a project that our heart is very connected with, then it becomes vital that we don't get perhaps overly impulsive. Spontaneity and impulsiveness are different things, aren't they? Spontaneity is just being in the moment. It's the right moment. Everything is there for it. Impulsiveness, it can come about because we've been putting something off or we haven't really felt it. I'm not going to say thought it through, but felt it through, and we jump into something and the timing isn't right. So I do feel timing is correct, that we have a purpose, but it doesn't have to be this minute to tomorrow. It's allowing it to grow with us. It's allowing it, like you mentioned, a beautiful flower to unfold. That we have, and this is important, that we have a relationship with that purpose. It's not just something abstract or we can fiddle with or manipulate. It's something we have to, like with a person, have a give and receive with. It has to have a rhythm. It has to have a balance. And that's where timing comes in. Where timing comes in. And yes, clock time is important, but some of us are really good at knowing the time when we're not wearing a watch. I don't know whether you're good like that. And you know, there are moments, aren't there, Neslin, where we just think, gosh, an hour passed and I thought it was 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. And other times, just we've been feeling that time is really speeding up, there's never enough of it. We're enjoying something. And we think, oh, that was 10 minutes, but actually it's been an hour. Time is spread out. And I think that's really magical, because time is man or woman made, definitely. We're in the time-space continuum. And if we weren't in a body, for just souls, then time and space wouldn't be present. But because we are in bodies, we have to honor, firstly, and I feel this very strongly, our own body, our relationship with our body, ourselves, to know what works best for us. Are we, for example, very simply an early or late person during the day? What rhythm do we have? And if we want to have a purpose, if we have a purpose, and that purpose comes to us, it chooses us, then honoring that, knowing the starting point of it, knowing its troughs and cycles and peaks is vital. I mean, at 14 years of age, I wanted a purpose. I was very keen to have a purpose. I was quite black and white in those days, and I just wanted that purpose, that passion. I must have driven my family mad, I think. I think in some ways it's lucky I wasn't, in the way the world sees it, a genius at something. Because if I had been, I'd have specialised. And as a result, I've done so many things in life. You might say, well, if I've been doing my work for 38 years, haven't I specialised? Well, yes, but it's a smorgasbord to put so many subjects onto. So many things. Because I trained as an actress, I worked as a colour therapist. I loved stories, mythologies, many things. And it's been wonderful to apply those subjects to my craft. So I wanted a purpose, and the way it unfolded, I was very impatient with it. By the time I reached 27, I was thinking, I know there's something there for me. And I'd run around even seeing psychics and people to say, well, what is it? It's so funny. And, you know, in the end, I made it happen. I was working on a newspaper in Bath, and I went to America, and I was in the mountains, and I loved the sense of space. And to come back to a tiny office, I thought, no, I can't do this. And I was growing so much. I think it was uncomfortable for people around me. Not that I was better than them, of course not. But I was growing. And everything felt too small. So I gave 2 weeks' notice in 1979, and I started my work, thinking I might do it for a year. In those days, it was easy to get another job in 1979. And it just chose me, it came to me. And I said earlier that it's been a good friend walking beside me. And yes, it's been the troughs and peaks. You talked about success. And I'm not a household name because I didn't wish to do star sign columns in the newspapers. I didn't want to be a teacher in the usual way. I prefer to be an inspirer or educator in that way. And because I'm highly intuitive, I feel that when I talk, whether to a client or with an audience, that is what they need to hear. I don't know whether you find that yourself, but I certainly do. And I've come to respect timing as a very important companion. whatever we do, Leslie.
If you had to make a wish, what would be your most inspiring wish that you would want to make in the here and now?
Now, that's a good question. Do you mean for myself or for
For
the
yourself.
world? For
For yourself.
myself. Oh, for myself. I would like to bring my knowledge, based on decades, but I would like to bring my knowledge, and of course my baby, my book, The Time Catcher, to a bigger audience. I want to help people. I've always wanted a purpose. No man is an island, they say. It's so true. Whichever the poet was, I think it was John Donne, yes. No man is an island. I want to bring that to a bigger audience and to do more work on speaker circuits, to do more writing, more media work, because I think I have something which comes through me. I won't say it's just me, my, what you might call education or intellect. I do feel that something bigger happens when I talk. And I would like to bring that, yes, to a bigger audience, because I love speaking. And I think there is a message there. And I think it's my time, not just because I'm 66 this year. I think it's my time. A lot of things have come together, being pulled together. Radio Works World has helped so much as well. And I'm seeing a lot of beautiful things coming together. It's not a question even of being busier. I'm the kind of person who likes their quiet time as well. It's not about running around like a hamster on a, on a wheel. It's quality rather than quantity. So yes, bigger exposure, I think, on stage and media. And I know a lot of people say that, but I know that what I have to offer is authentic, it's timely, it's timeless. And yes, that's what I want. That's my wish, Nestle.
Beautiful. Well, I am going to support you to have that wish fulfilled.
Thank you. Thank you so much, lovely Leslie. You're so beautiful.
And before I do that, would you just share with the audience how Radio Works World has benefited you in bringing your work to this stage that we are now?
Radio Works World has benefited me hugely. It really, really has. Firstly, I've been wanting to write a book well, I have kind of written books, but never got around to having them published. And I work well with deadlines, and Marina was a fantastic encourager, keeping me on track to the next signpost, if you like. And whilst I've always had to work for myself and be my own guide and coach, and I'm good at it, this was very important and brought about something which I think a couple of months before I wrote it, I was thinking I really ought to get around to writing a book one day. And then it happened. The opportunities to give talk on the events, meet the news at the awards, and the W.O.R.K.S Hotel back in October when I received an award for being the timing host on Radio Works World. Opportunities to give talks, to meet inspiring people who've definitely encouraged me. Yes, sky's the limit, and it's only early days. So and Marina knows this, I probably bore her with this at times, how often I say how much I appreciate and what can I do to help you.
And what can you do to help Marina?
She has to ask me. I do ask her. I spread the word. I try and bring people to the events. I have done. Giving her, like she did me, the encouragement, the endorsement of her greatness.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So I am going to now take you through an exercise to bring your work to a bigger audience. And this is based on the principle of the one command.
Of the what? Of the
one command.
one command. Lovely. Make it
Yes.
simple. I like that.
Rather than going into the philosophy and the practice of it all, I will make it simple, as I know you like the simplicity of things.
Yes.
As you are already aware, even more than I am, that we all have greatness within us, number one. Number two, that we are connected within the quantum universe. And when we are able to align our desires with the quantum universe in divine right time will open up the opportunities for us. We do not say how, we leave it. This is for the Mother Universe to deliver and for Father Universe to create. So Mother and Father Universe create and deliver for us. So we make a command, and sometimes it is delivered to us in even greater than we have commanded. So in order to do that, I will take you through 6 steps. Well,
Okay.
firstly, this is what we call grounding. And in grounding, I'd like you to send your attention to your feet.
Yeah.
And as you send your attention to your feet, breathe in deeply. And breathe out as if you were breathing out through the center of your heart. And as you breathe out through the center of your heart, you are sending out your desire for your work to be in the universe in a much greater way. So for your work to be enhanced and to be impacted in a much bigger way. So what would be your simple language of to put that into one sentence? It would be to, what would you say? What would be your simple sentence? For my work to be?
For my work to be from my very open heart, which is limitless, to reach corners of the world, situations which are perhaps generally more difficult to reach, and to know that it is received well.
I love just to be limitless. Okay, so again, give your attention to your feet. And imagine now that you have energetic roots growing out from your feet through the foundations of the building in which you are in and going down into Mother Earth. And as your roots go down into Mother Earth, they seek for your work to be limitless and from your work to come from your very open heart. And your roots go deeper and deeper. And because they are now in the center of the earth, they have the ability to spread over the whole globe. And your roots now have spread across the globe. And earth hears your desire and knows exactly what to send back to you for the accomplishment of your work to be limitless. And as your roots spread across the earth, you may feel a feeling within your body. You may just feel sensations of tingling. Your roots may even find the most appropriate crystal in the earth for you. Sometimes roots go to crystals. Sometimes they go to the fire that there is within earth. And sometimes they go for the liquidity of the oil or the water. Your roots will know exactly what you need. They will draw from the minerals and they will draw from the energetic resonance in earth. And so your roots now draw from the energetic resonance in earth for your work to be limitless. And your roots are now bringing that back into your body. So send your intention to pull the energetic resonance from earth back into your body, up through the soles of your feet, and up into your knees, and up into your pelvis, and right across your sexual centers, and into your root chakra, and up from your root chakra into your heart, and rest the energetic resonance of earth in your heart. And as above, so below. And so the planetary systems are now also sending you their energetic resonance. And the energetic resonance from the planetary systems come down into you through your crown chakra and down into your heart. And just set your intention for the energetic resonance from above and the energetic resonance from below to be mixed. So mix these energies in your heart and breathe that energy out again through the center of your heart into the quantum universe. And as you breathe this energy out, just imagine that the central sun is right in front of you. And the central sun is also reflecting back and sending energies back to you. And there's a flow of energy now from your heart going right out into the quantum universe. And it's bringing that message for your work to be limitless, for your work to come from your very open heart and to reach as many people as are ready for your work now. Breathe in again. And with this breath, imagine that a ball of light has come up from the center of the earth. And that light has passed through you. And it's going up through you, right up from your spine and out through the top of your head. Keep your head straight. Close your eyelids. And with your eyelids closed, turn your eyeballs up as if you're looking through the top of your head, looking back and through the top of your head. And this is linking you with your pineal gland, which, as you know, is the gland that links us with heaven and earth. And as the ball of light passes through your pineal gland and goes out through your crown chakra, follow this light up with your closed eyelids and your eyeballs turned back and up as far as possible. Follow this light up, and as the light goes up, it goes up faster and wider, faster and wider, faster and wider, faster and wider. And it really passes all the planets. It moves out through the Milky Way and it rockets out into dark matter where everything exists. It collects the wisdom and it moves out from dark matter through a window and out into the clear luminescence of light. And in the clear luminescence of light is the creation of all that is and the creator of all that is. And here you co-create with the creator. And now silently say, I don't know how my work is now limitless. I only know now my work is now limitless and I am fulfilled. I don't know how my work comes from my open heart. I only know now my work comes from my open heart and I am fulfilled. I don't know how I understand the Creator's perspective of limitless. I only know now I understand the Creator's perspective of limitless and I am fulfilled. I don't know how I know the Creator's meaning of limitless. I only know now I know the Creator's meaning of limitless and I am fulfilled. I don't know how I allow myself to be open to the limitlessness of my work. I only know now I allow myself to be open to the limitlessness of my work. I don't know how I work with with authenticity, with integrity, and in partnership. I only know now I work with authenticity and integrity in partnerships, and I am fulfilled. I don't know how I allow myself to be an integritous person within partnerships. I only know now I allow myself to be an integritous person within partnerships, and I am fulfilled. I don't know how my work reaches all who are ready for my work now. I only know now my work reaches all who are ready for my work now, and I am fulfilled. And now, allow those commands to expand and expand and expand into something even greater than we have commanded. Feel the feeling in your body. See through your mind's eye visions of your work being limitless. Hear what people are saying to you and hear what you are saying to yourself now. And get an image of your higher self communicating with you in limitless ways now. Give gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. It is so now. And bring that energy of gratitude for your work being limitless now down back into your body. Bring it down through your crown chakra. Bring it back into your heart. And as you bring it into your heart, unwind, unwind, unwind all the ways in which you have, up until now, not allowed your work to be limitless. Unwind all of that. Unwind any doubts that there may have been. Unwind that. Unwind it out of your soul. Unwind it out of your DNA. Unwind it out of all directions of time. And unwind it out of all generations of time. Rewind, rewind, rewind in all directions of time and in all generations of time. Rewinding to your DNA, rewinding to your soul. Rewind, rewind your work now being limitless. Rewind your work reaching all who are ready for it. And rewind you working in partnership. Rewind. And as you do so, send that now into your body with love and with peace. Allow yourself to be fully immersed into that feeling and be at peace. Be at peace. And finally say, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. It is so now, it is so now. And you're fulfilled. Give gratitude one more time. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. And when you're comfortable, open your eyes and just share what that experience has been like.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Expect miracles to happen. Things will,
Thank you.
synchronicity.
Great.
And remember to give this gratitude to Radio W.O.R.K.S World.
Always, always grateful. Thank you.
Both in recording and in writing.
Yes. Absolutely. No, that's very important. People don't do that enough. So important to acknowledge.
Yes. And so this is my gift to you this morning through Radio W.O.R.K.S World, through Marina. Without Marina, this would never have happened. So gratitude to Marina. And so as we sign off and we say good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, this is Joyful from Izan and Neslin this morning. And as we said, that we are a group of passionate people sowing seeds of greatness for your wealth, seeds of greatness for opportunities to be open to you, seeds of greatness for relationships, and seeds of greatness for the keys to your success. And as we have just ended with the key to Izan's success, we will hear more and more from her because you have your own show, haven't you? You've got your time.
Yes, I'm the timing host. Yes, yes.
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 And do you have your show every week? Do you run your show every week?
I did many of them last year, and the last couple of months I've concentrated on my book and other areas of my life, and I'm now ready to do my show again. And I'm looking forward to that as we enter the spring, which to me is the new year.
Okay, yes. It's very important for you to do your show because, you know, we never forget source. And when you do your show will also support the I suppose the wider sharing of your book. So do return to your show with love, with authenticity, and with gratitude.
Absolutely. No, those words are very, very close to my heart.
Yeah.
And I want to know myself that gratitude is something I've always worked with.
Yes.
Yeah, no victim. I think there are no coincidences. And I think we're here to give to life and to receive from it as well. And always to acknowledge where something good has come from.
Okay, so we need to end the show now. So peace be with you and God be with you.
Bless you. Thank you so very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.